What is going on, everybody? Happy, what is it, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Uh, this week is so far, it's been a little weird. Uh, we haven't actually done any shows since last week. We haven't had the afternoon show here since last Thursday. So yeah, glad to be back and got my man Spread here with me. What is going on, man?
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? Thank you to MoneyBall Metrics for having me here to break down the good old collegiate slate.
Definitely, man. It's a really good slate. Um, so yeah, man. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Well, actually, be actually for that, I know actually today there's been a lot of talk as far as um as actually like as far as the actual like All Star game, man, and the All Star like weekend. Did actually you like watch any of actually that?
I did. I did. I caught the debacle. I've been rooting for Victor Wemby for about 2 seasons now, being able to find a lot of profitable props, but what him and CP3 pulled with kind of throwing and making a mockery of the skills challenge really just shows how unserious All-Star weekend is being taken amongst the players in the league. And that's definitely something that should be discussed. There has to be an element of seriousness to it because in the weeks leading up to the All-Star break, you see teams shortening their starters minutes, shortening the all-stars minutes. And it's like, oh, they're getting ready to play in the all-star game. Then they come out in the all-star game and give such a disgustingly low amount of effort. It kind of makes you wonder what's going on.
Yeah, man. I did not watch this. Like, I did not watch it like all. Um, that's just not something I just want to spend my time doing currently. For this little break and actually those actually like sports. It's been nice for like me. As far as sports, I like cover actually like so much, so it actually gave me a little bit of time to focus on those other things. So this little break has actually been nice. Um, got Joe in the chat here. What's going on, Joe? Um, yeah, man. Uh, yeah, and that's just as far as the ratings go. I don't know what they. Well, there's a lot to actually change, but I'm not sure if they will change it. And I think ratings are going to continue to just kind of go down.
Plummet. They should plummet after that showing. It probably won't pick up again for the NBA until right around the beginning of playoffs because MLB comes back. NHL just had a boon of viewers due to the Four Nations tournament.
Yep.
It Adam Silver has to figure out something. And as far as this sample size of teams going to 40, I know he mentioned in shortening the quarters by 2 minutes, but if the 40-point all-star break is a precursor to shorter quarters, he can keep it. I don't see that as the way to remedy the problem that the NBA has with ratings.
Definitely. Definitely. And the NBA is technically back tomorrow. There is only one game, but we are going to be here, and our man Joe is going to be back. Uh, so yeah, definitely make sure to catch tomorrow's show. But then I think we don't have a full slate um, until what I guess Thursday is our first like full slate back. Um, but as far as actually college ball goes, we got a lot of games here today, man.
A lot of them.
So yeah, chat. If there's any certain games that actually you would like to see us break down, drop them in the chat. We definitely will. There's a lot of games to go over, so we're just going to kind of start and just see wherever y'all want us to actually go. Uh,
A good starting place is that I really wanted to discuss is the MSU and Purdue game. So the Spartans versus Purdue. This game comes to mind because I'm really liking the MSU Spartans, but it's very rare that me and Alpha Dog are on the same page. I've been tailing, well, observing Alpha Dog's plays for almost 5 years now. Have a great respect for him, but rarely do we end up on the same side. So I'm really excited to get on the action with MSU Spartans today at minus 3.5.
Okay. Real quick, Joe, let's talk about that tomorrow. I could get into all of that, and that could be like a whole entire show. So let's just not even get into that currently. J-Bo, what's going on, man? Yes, if actually there are any games that you want to see, drop them in the chat, please. But yeah, spread, man. As far as this game, I see the Michigan State side. I see that seems to be a very popular side. And that's one that full game. I guess I don't mind it, but I like the other side, specifically in the first half.
Agreed.
They have not been playing bad. They've just ran into some like hot teams. I believe that actually Wisconsin in their last game, man, that during the second half they literally could not miss. That they ended up putting up 58 points. For a college team, and actually one half, that is a ton of points, man.
It is.
So that game, I don't think that they played bad. I mean, they just ran into a team, like I said, that just literally could not miss. But they really didn't play bad, and I think that really carries over here. So, and as far as this number, I mean, because actually Purdue has actually lost their they've actually lost their last 2 games.
That's 2 games.
So I think that's why this number here is big as big as it actually is. But as far as full game, I'm really not showing a lot of value there. But on the first half, first half +2. I definitely like that play.
Yeah, and then you can get +2 at minus 115, but even better, the first half money line is plus money at 114. And a small tidbit to throw in is they've won the last 4 out of 4 games against Michigan State.
Yep.
So it could really be interesting. Honestly, the smartest play here, well, one of the 2 smart plays is, like you said, the +2 first half spread or the first half money line for Purdue.
Yep. Definitely agree there. Guess let's go over to the game that's going to start the soonest. That is Villanova versus UConn. Both of these teams are coming in off a loss. That Nova loss, that's not that bad because they were on the road. I believe they were 2 or 2.5 actually point favorites there, so that's not it's not a bad loss. But that UConn loss, they were a 13-point favorite, and ended up losing outright. So that's definitely a bad loss. And actually, Villanova beat this team. That was actually back in January. I was on the over there, and that did not hit. UConn just could not make anything, especially during the first half. As far as second half, they actually finally started going there. They had a chance to win that game, but they missed some free throws, and actually that's why they ended up losing that game. So, besides coming off of that loss versus this Nova team, they're also coming off, just like I said, just a bad loss. So I like them to come out hot. I think they're going to be ready to go. They are actually at home. You can get the first half spread at actually -4.5. And I am all over that. I think this is a game where we're going to see them start very well. Joe, for actually me, if this was a regular, I guess if the situation was a little bit different, I would normally think, yeah, that actually, like, as far as that number is probably about right. Um, but with how everything is set up here, to me, I only want to be on the Yukon side. So,
Joe, I agree with you. Like I like that number, and the reason I like that number is how Villanova plays against the spread this season. Against in the last 20 games, they've covered 17 out of the last 20 games against the spread, and they play better as an underdog. So I'm actually going to take this 8.5 spread.
okay.
Coming off a loss against Providence, that's just not something that this Villanova team, back to back losses. You will have to go all the way back to 2022 to find a back to back loss from this Villanova team. That's just how tough they are. So after this recent loss from Providence, I really like this 8.5 spread.
Okay. I definitely see where you're going there. Chat, once again, welcome to everybody here. If there's a certain game that you would like us to talk about, put it in the chat, please, and we will go over it. But for right now, I guess let's just keep actually going down the slate here, man. Let's go to the Mississippi State game. Texas A&M at Mississippi State. Is there anything in this game you like?
I really like the home advantage for Mississippi State. I do believe Texas A&M is the better team overall, but I don't think the talent level is so. The differential in talent level between Texas A&M and Mississippi State is not very apparent. So it's a really tough one. It's something I would stay away from, but honestly, I would have to go with the numbers here, and the numbers say that Texas A&M has covered the spread. They've covered against the spread in 8 of the last 8 games. I'm looking for that to continue against Mississippi State. Although I don't know, I feel like Mississippi State has a little bit of a point to prove.
Yeah, this Mississippi State team, they actually are good. But for me, it's kind of weird because this is one of those, the situation is one you don't really see a whole lot with actually two like top ranked teams like we have here. But Mississippi State, as far as playing at home, they're really not as good. And then on the other side, you have this Texas team, and as far as on the road, man, they've been playing great. They've gotten some great wins. This actually, like, Texas team, man, we have been backing them. They've been treating us very well, especially on the road. I thought that this was going to be an actual like Mississippi State spot. The line though, they're actually minus 2.5, and I can't get there. With messing around as far as my numbers and everything goes. Let me pull it back up here real quick. I still have Texas A&M favored by 2 points, 2.3 points. So as far as the money line here, I'm actually going to be on that. This is actually not a big play. The other thing about this like matchup here is Mississippi State. They like turn the ball over a little bit more than I would like to like see. And then this A&M team, man, as far as actually rebounding, they are so good, especially on the offensive side of that. And really, that's where the advantage here, I think, is for them. Is actually going to be a lot of second chance points. And actually on the road, that's a great thing to actually have. So yeah, like that's kind of where I'm at here.
Going back to what you said, they actually hit a low. So They won 69-61 against Arkansas, and they really had their worst total rebound showing in a long time at 28. The 5 games before that, the range is in between 37 rebounds and 44 rebounds. So I'm looking for some positive regression against the glass for this Texas A&M team.
Yep. And this is a team that they should be able to do that against. Yeah, same way. We can definitely move on. Chat, once again, if there's any games you'd like to see, throw them in the chat. Well, let's go to you, Spread. Is there a game actually like that you want to talk about?
Yes. So you can't ignore the 16-9 Oklahoma Sooners versus the 22-3 Florida Gators. It's going to be a high viewership game, so we may want to touch on it. Do you have any plays here?
I do not. This is a game where the spread is a little bit higher than I actually thought it would be. So just on line value, it would definitely be the Oklahoma side, but they're not a team I'm looking to back versus a top team like actually this. As far as the Florida offense here actually at home, I'm not sure how actually like Oklahoma is really going to stop them. As far as a Florida team total over, that's what I looked at this game for. But the numbers are actually pretty good. I believe the team total was 86.5.
Right.
So the number I think is good. I believe the first half team total was 40.5 or either 41.5. So once again, I was actually looking for like a 38.5 there. There's what I was hoping to actually like play on. But the books I feel like have this game priced well. So yeah, man, there's not a lot for me. There's kind of like what I was trying to get to, but like I said, the numbers are actually pretty much actually like spot on.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing that I really like is it's a player prop from an Oklahoma Sooners. The Oklahoma Sooners are reeling. They're coming off 4 losses in a row. Now, mind you, these are some very heavy hitter teams that they've lost to in this month of February. They started the month of February against Auburn. They lost. They got their, can we curse?
Yeah.
Belt to ass. It was a belt to ass showing against the Sooners versus Auburn, and they lost by 28 points. The game after that, they lost by almost 20 points again to Tennessee. So for 2 straight games, the Sooners did not score over 60 points in 2 back-to-back games in a row. Now, most recently, on the 15th of February, they only lost by 3 to LSU.
Now that to me, sorry to stop you real quick. That to me, like of all of these like losses here, those actually other 3 are all fine. That to me, was a bad loss. They were at home, and I believe they were 8-point favorites actually in that game, if I remember correctly. But anyway, yeah, go on there.
No, I'm listening. That's really all I have to say. I mean, that says enough to me to at least shy away from the Sooners. Definitely. The only thing that really kind of adds value to is the under for this game. But even still, that would be a bit, I wouldn't even say it was a lean. It's not enough there for me to put a unit on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, today there's a bunch of good games, and like I said, yeah, that one just did not make the cut for me. All right, well, Spread, let's actually go back to you. Is actually there another game you want to go over?
Yes. So this is, I know we touched on the SEC matchup. Let me see. I had one game pulled up. So we're gonna go to Houston versus ASU.
Okay.
And there are a few things. Let's just go over the recent history for ASU. They are hitting, well, they've lost about 5 straight. But that's okay because we're capers. It's not always about wins and loss with us. In every game, both their wins and their losses, I'm looking at their 61 and a half team total over. Even despite their losses, all of even in their losses, they've been able to score at least 62 points, which is a trend that I look to continue.
You know, this is gonna be a tough game for man. Uh, Houston, man, as man, actually, like as far as on the actually like as far as actually like defense, man, they're very good, and they like love to slow things down. Um, I know that like Arizona State, I know they've been playing overs. I believe their past 5 games have actually gone over. Um, but this is one where I think it's going to be close there. Me personally, just as far as just numbers ran, um, I have this game as 73-59.
Mm.
So actually, like as far as your actually like team like total, I'm like close to it there. Um, it's like close enough to where I personally wouldn't actually play actually either way. Um, so I got Houston favored by basically 14 points here. What's spread? Spread's 11 and a half or 12 and a half. Um, slight value there, but not enough for me to play on it. I actually played on them. What was it? They played Saturday. Uh, they played Zona. Yeah. I actually played them there. Um, Zona is a team I don't really want to bet against. They've just been playing so well.
They
Uh,
almost pulled it out. It was a close one.
I was about to say, but because of that, I really think that's why that line was actually so low. Um, so yeah, I actually jumped on that. On as far as on Saturday, that was actually one of my larger plays. So yeah, I was glad that one worked out here. For like me, man, like I said, this is just a clear pass.
I don't blame you. It's close. Houston is just one of those greedy teams where you really don't want to be rooting for the offense that they're against. I'm pretty confident in it just because of the Arizona knows they need to get a loss. I mean, they need to get a win under their belt. So I'm looking for them to come out just guns blazing, doing whatever they can to get back into the win column, which they haven't touched in a month.
True, definitely so. Definitely understand it. Well, man, here's the game we have to talk about: Kansas at BYU. Um, you know, BYU, that's a really tough place to actually go and play. Really is. Kansas has not been a good road team. Um, you know, it's a team that was supposed to be one of the top teams. They really haven't been playing like actually that. I mean, they're ranked. They're back to 23rd now. Um, you know, but once again, here as far as my numbers, um, I still have them favored by actually 1 point here. Um, to me, you can get 3.5 points with Kansas, but for me, this is actually going to be a money line play. Small. Um, this is one of those, like I like to say, where I think if actually BYU wins, then they cover this. Um, but if not, then obviously like Kansas wins this outright. So that's why instead of laying the juice with those points, I'm actually just actually gonna take the money line. Um, Clients got it at a little bit better price, but it looks like you can still get plus 135. And actually, like I don't mind that as as actually just a small play.
I agree. I'm on a little bit for a full gun game total. I wouldn't touch it. I know right now the wheels have just fallen off the wagon for Kansas and they are really just out just trying to get it going. So as far as full games, I am staying away, but I do have a little bit of research that backs the first half money line on the BYU side.
Okay.
My reasoning behind this is they are magnificent at covering the spread at home. They've covered the first half spread in 16 out of the last 17 home games. Today you can get it at minus 1.5, but and you can get that at 110, obviously. But the money line you can get at minus 140. The first half money line you can get at 140 for BYU. And I just have to go with the research there.
Well, yeah, it sounds like if you like the BYU side, then actually sounds like a first half play is probably the best play to go there. It looks like that's how they've been trending, and that's a pretty strong trend there also. Which actually, like I said, it makes a lot of sense because that actually goes back to what I was talking about, where that's a tough place to go in and play. So that would make sense that their first halves they're doing really well. So yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense there.
And that's actually my play of the day. As far as my play of the day is BYU first half money line. If you're feeling risky, minus 1.5 isn't bad either.
Okay. Well, everybody, that is spreads play of the day. BYU first half money line. All right, chat. There's a bunch of y'all here now. If there's any other games you would like us to go over, please drop them in the chat, and actually we will. As far as the play of the day, man, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and go into it. It's a game that were you about to say something?
1 second. So J-Bo, you can find me at Spread Gladiator on Twitter. I still call it Twitter too because saying X as a name just doesn't sound right. But I can be found at Spread Gladiator. I will be releasing that play of the day and about 1 or 2 other college plays as well. Thank you for asking. Sorry to cut you off, JD.
Yeah, if you actually see on the screen there, that actually is his @ there. So yeah, if you can just want to type in that, you can definitely find him there. All right, J-Bo, ask him about the LSU South Carolina game. This is a game that we actually talked about, and we thought it was a very interesting game. Spread, do you want to go first here?
Well, yes, I feel like for entertainment value, as far as when I sit down and crack my cold beer and call it the end of the day and I don't want to sweat, I'm going to cut on this South Carolina versus LSU game because I'm not going to be backing either side in it. and what we do, sometimes that is the most enjoyable thing to do. And it's just because you just don't know how some of these in-conference games can go. As far as a play, though, I expect this to be a defensive bout. I wouldn't dare release an official play for this game, but I am liking the under 140 just because that's a bit steep for how these two teams play.
Yep. Totally agree there. Yeah, this number is very interesting. By the numbers, I have LSU favored by 4 points here. The line is at 2.5. It's an interesting spread. Because actually, like me and Spread here, we actually talked about how actually like South Carolina really actually may actually be the sharp side here. The numbers don't actually fully say that. But just with the spot and everything, because if you look at this South Carolina team, yeah, they've like lost a bunch of games here in a row. But when you look at who they've played, Texas A&M, Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Florida. I mean, they're playing top teams here, great teams. So that's why I think tonight, if I had to pick one side where I was like, all right, this line like really doesn't make a lot of sense, and I think this is your sharp side, it would have to be the South Carolina side. This is a game that I'm not going to bet. I think there's a bunch of other plays here tonight. But as far as if I had to lean, that would be where I'd have to go. Virginia Tech, Boston College. That's a game I didn't even look at. This actual time of year, I like to bet teams that I've kind of been on, that I've been actually like riding. These are two teams I haven't been playing or playing against. Let me look up, see what I have here. Virginia Tech, Boston College. I have Virginia Tech favored by a little over 2. What's the spread? Virginia Tech is a -1.5 point fair. Okay, yeah. So as far as me, the number makes a lot of sense here. Boston College, they've lost the last 4 games here. That's at that spot that I like to talk about whenever a team has lost like 4 games or either won actually 4 games. That's normally the time where I want to go against them because as far as the market is normally a little bit too high or either actually or actually like a little bit too low on an actual team. But yeah, this game I have nothing on. Do you spread?
I just don't have the research. There's nothing that either one of these teams have consistently done to make me feel comfortable in placing anything on it. Like it kind of just crosses into degenerate zone for me, and I try to stay out of that degenerate zone. So definitely plays that make sense instead of reaching for the play. Like I don't want. It's just I would feel upset with myself despite the result if whether I won or lost betting on just these 2 teams at this moment.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, let me try to find something here. Pull up the game that I'm going to talk about for my play of the day. And it's some teams that I'm sure that y'all definitely know about, that y'all definitely follow. We're going to go to the West Georgia game. Y'all are probably wondering who in the hell West Georgia is. They are a Division I team. This is their first year as an actual Division I team. And just like most teams that are in that spot, they haven't done so well. And then you have the North Alabama side. They are at home here. And if you've been rocking with actually us, especially on the VIP side, you know all about this team. This team has been covering spreads for us. And we're not going to stop here. On the year, they are 17-8. So they've been covering like crazy. Their last 10, they're actually 7-3. And then at home, they are 10-1. This team has been undervalued all year. And we're going to keep it going here because this actually like West Side Georgia team to me, I just don't see where the scoring comes from to be able to actually keep up here whatsoever. I actually make this line 21. So you can like 16 now. And I absolutely love that play. There's a team, like I said, we're going to keep riding them. And yeah, there's not a lot to this game. But yeah, spread. Do I like you have anything as far as this game goes?
This is your play of the day. You got it on this one.
Yeah, it's one of those random kind of ones, teams that people don't really follow. It's like much, but it's one that I love, and I just put that in the chat as the play of the day. North Alabama minus 16. Looks like on FanDuel you can get a 15.5. That is a little bit juiced. Then you get 16 at some places and then 16.5 at actually other places. But I would play any of those. Like I said, I actually make this line 21. So yeah, this line, like I just love this game. So, but yeah, man, is there any other games that you wanted to go over?
No, one thing we can do is go just kind of recapping what we talked about so far. My top 3 plays of the day are going to be Villanova plus 8.5. The reason why is they have covered in 17 out of the last 20 games. You all remember my play of the day. BYU is going to be the first half money line. And finally, I really like the Texas A&M first half spread. I think you can get that at 2.5 plus 2.5 right now.
Like that, and I actually like them full game too. So, so there is that. Yeah, my favorite play is the play of the day by actually far. I will put it up here on the screen. North Alabama minus 16. As far as actually like unit sizing, I don't have anything close actually to this play. The rest of my plays today are actually all smaller plays. Yeah, this is the one that I have the most actually value on by far. Yeah, guys, I think today for us that is going to be it. Tomorrow we will be back. As far as the NBA, I believe we have one game. We're definitely going to talk that and just kind of see where else goes from there. Then I believe Thursday we'll be back to regular as far as a full slate goes. Yeah, we appreciate everyone being here. And yeah, I think for today that is going to do it. And like always, good luck with your bets and let's fucking win. See ya.